The moon landing hoax theory. The landing of the Apollo astronauts on the moon was filmed on Earth in a secret studio, and people never actually walked on the lunar surface. This idea became popular after the first landing in 1969, during the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union were competing for technological superiority. Experts point to the flag, which appears to be waving, even though there is no wind on the moon. They also mention the shadows, which fall at different angles, as if the scene were lit by studio spotlights. Another common question is why there are no stars in the photos, even though the sky is completely black. But the theory has an even more mysterious side. Some believe the footage may have been directed by Stanley Kubrick, the director of Time's 2001, A Space Odyssey, because he had already shown he could create incredibly realistic outer space on screen. If the landing was real, after all, why are there still so many strange details, missing recordings, and unanswered questions surrounding it? The Flat Earth Theory. Earth is not a sphere, but a flat surface, most often described as a disk surrounded by an ice wall. This wall is associated with Antarctica, not as an ordinary continent, but as the boundary of the world, beyond which people are not allowed to go. International treaties about Antarctica supposedly exist not just for science, but to hide what lies beyond the edge. Supporters of this theory question photos from space and call them fake or edited. They ask why the horizon appears flat, why water does not visibly curve to the human eye, and why an ordinary person does not feel Earth's rotation. They also point to airplane routes that sometimes look strange on a standard map, but if Earth really is flat, who would have been hiding it for centuries, and why? Supporters talk about governments, space agencies, and secret control over humanity, and what if everything we have always considered obvious was once simply shown to us in a different way? The Area 51 UFO theory. This theory is connected to Area 51, a real military base in the Nevada desert that was classified for decades. Supporters of the theory believe that the base stores wreckage from alien spacecraft, studies alien bodies, and develops technology that did not come from Earth. The theory gained credibility because of stories from people who claimed they had worked near secret facilities. The most famous story is connected to Bob Lazar. He claimed that he saw alien craft near the base and even took part in studying their engines. According to him, these technologies operated using an unknown element and could explain the incredible maneuvers of UFOs that people sometimes see in the sky. Supporters also point to strange lights over Nevada, restricted areas, warning signs, and armed security. Officially, Area 51 was indeed used to develop advanced aircraft, including spy planes that ordinary people could have mistaken for UFOs. The US government only acknowledged the existence of Area 51 many years later. The Reptilian Theory. Some world leaders, celebrities, and influential figures are actually reptile-like beings capable of shape-shifting into human form. Supporters of this theory believe that reptilians have existed on Earth since ancient times. As evidence, they point to myths about serpent-like gods and creatures, such as dragons, nagas, and the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl, as well as ancient depictions of humans with reptilian features. According to this view, these legends are not merely stories, but distorted memories of encounters with non-human rulers. Reptilians are often associated with secret elites. Believers claim that they occupy key positions of power, influence wars, economies, media, and culture, and seek to control human society. As evidence, supporters cite unusual video glitches, unnatural eye movements, sudden changes in facial expressions, or the presence of serpent and reptile symbols in architecture, coats of arms, and corporate logos. Images of snakes and lizard-like creatures appear in ancient cultures around the world. Advocates of the theory argue that the widespread presence of these symbols reflects a shared historical memory of reptilian influence rather than mere coincidence. The Illuminati theory. A secret group is said to secretly control governments, banks, celebrities, and world events. The real Illuminati were a small secret society founded in Bavaria in 1776. Its members supported Enlightenment ideas, but the group's activities were banned. In the modern world, the Illuminati are believed to operate through private clubs, influential families, global financial institutions, and political alliances. They supposedly control crises, wars, elections, and culture. Their traces are often seen in symbols: the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, the number 13, specific hand gestures, album covers, and music videos by famous artists. Celebrities supposedly use these signs to show their connection to the secret system. The Illuminati are said not only to control events, but also to leave clues in advance. For example, in movies, cartoons, or music videos, people claim to see scenes that supposedly predicted real disasters or political events. Skeptics consider these things coincidences and imagination, but for conspiracy theorists, such details look like the secret language of power. The microchips in vaccines theory. According to this conspiracy theory, vaccines are used to secretly implant microchips or tracking devices into people. The idea became especially popular during the COVID-19 pandemic. Supporters claim that vaccination is not merely a medical procedure, but part of a broader global plan to create a system in which every individual can be monitored, have their movements restricted, or be linked to a centralized digital database. As evidence, they often point to videos showing magnets allegedly sticking to injection sites, reports of mysterious Bluetooth signals, and the timing of vaccine rollouts, alongside the expansion of digital IDs and QR code systems. And here comes the central irony. While people were searching for mythical microchips in vaccines, real tracking devices were already sitting in their pockets, powered on, fully charged, and voluntarily connected to the internet. The simulation theory. According to this theory, our world is not a genuine physical reality, but part of an extremely advanced computer program created by a more technologically developed civilization. The idea is sometimes discussed by philosophers, scientists, and people in the technology sector as a thought experiment. In this view, we are not original human beings, but digital consciousnesses existing within an experiment designed to study history, behavior, or the evolution of society. So-called glitches in the matrix are seen as more than mere coincidences. They are interpreted as errors in the system. Examples include the Mandela effect, strange experiences of déjà vu, highly improbable coincidences, recurring number patterns, objects that seem to disappear without explanation, or moments when reality appears to behave illogically. Supporters of the theory often compare the laws of physics to the rules of a video game. The speed of light is viewed as a limit on data processing, quantum uncertainty as a form of resource optimization, and the observer effect as evidence that the world only renders when it is being observed. The Big Pharma theory. According to this theory, pharmaceutical corporations have a greater financial incentive to sell medications that patients must take for years than to release a one-time treatment that permanently solves a health problem. Supporters often point to real-world issues such as high drug prices, aggressive marketing, lobbying efforts, patent disputes, and high-profile industry scandals. They argue that simple cures for serious diseases may already exist but are being suppressed, patented away, or prevented from reaching the public in order to protect corporate profits. The theory also suggests that major pharmaceutical companies influence doctors, scientific journals, regulators, and even medical education programs, shaping public and professional views about what should be considered the correct form of treatment. Critics of this idea counter that modern medicine is a vast global enterprise involving thousands of laboratories, universities, countries, and competing companies. They argue that concealing a universal cure would be virtually impossible given the scale, transparency requirements, and competitive nature of medical research worldwide.